Here we are the next morning, and all of this peat has soaked up that water. It's not slushy, it's firm, and I think it's good to go. So we're going to move on to pulling those plants out of the old bog garden, dividing them up, and then transplanting them over here into their new home. So let's get to it. Here we are back at the bog garden, and you can see it's kind of a mess. Everything is growing within each other. There are some weeds, some dead in it. So we're just going to take our time and pull one plant out at a time, divide it up, separate them out, and then see what we have. So I'm going to get started with this little trumpet pitcher plant here. So I'm just going to cut down careful, see if I can pop it out of there. All right, let's see. There we go. Come on, baby. There you are. All right, let's spin this camera around over here and I'll show you what we got. This looks like there might be a couple of plants in here. Get rid of some of this dead so we can see what's going on. Let's see. Shaking out some of this old soil. Yep, here's one right here on the left, on my left. So again, it's kind of tangled a little bit, but if I massage it, what do you think, Coop? Huh? Cooper's like, yeah, I think there are two in there. There we go. Come on. So there's one. I think there's another division here. I think we might be able to pull apart. Yes. So there you go. Out of that clump, we got 3 different pitcher plants. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of keep digging one plant up at a time, pulling all the dead out of it, dividing it up, and I'll lay them all out and see what we have. Here's another trumpet pitcher plant. This is a big cluster, so I think we'll be able to get at least 3 more out of this, but let's just see. So I'm just going to shake out all the soil matrix, see if something wants to fall apart on its own, pull off some of this dead so we can see what's happening. Let's see. The growth is all interwoven. So you have to, there's one. So you just have to kind of look at where the crown comes up out of the dirt. And you can see, like right here, that's just one plant. So if we can detangle it a little bit on top, detangle it a little bit underneath. Oh, that didn't go so well. That one broke. Let's see, there's another one next to it. There it is. And then gently jiggle this mess. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Well, it's apart in the roots, but all the leaves here are still interlocked. Let gravity do its job. Let's see. Come on. There's one. All right, what does this look like? There's probably 2 in this, 3 in this, but I don't know if I can get them apart by breaking it, but let me just see if I can cut them. There you go. Come on. Yeah, see, there's another plant. I think there's another division in here that we can, this one's just gonna fall apart. There we go. It's just wound together here in the middle. All right, there's another one. There's a little one here, so we'll save him, and there's another. So right there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of this bundle. Well, here we are with a large clump of this pitcher plant, and I've been shaking out the sand here. I've also had really good luck on exposing these roots with this bucket of water. So I'm just going to shake this into this bucket of water. You can see all that sand in there. So just shake it and work those roots a little bit in the water. And you can really expose this root system. Now you can really see all the roots, and that'll help you also see all of these individual plant crowns. See that? So now it's just a matter of separating them out, cutting them off if we can use scissors, or maybe they'll pull apart. You see, you can just work it, work it, work it. Here's one that came apart. That's really, this one is actually another 2 or 3. You can divide that into 3, but I'm gonna leave it a little bit bigger. So that's it, you just work your way through the clump like that and see how many you get. After about 15 or 20 minutes of pulling these large clumps of pitcher plants out, I've made pretty good progress, but now I've exposed my fly traps, and I want to pull those out before I keep screwing around with this huge clump, because I need to make room to dig in there and I don't want to damage my little fly traps. So I'm going to move on to those now. These are already pretty loose. I just got to kind of cut into that soil a little bit and just pop it, and then I'll take it over to my bucket. I'm gonna set up this camera so you can see what's going on. But the reason I stopped suddenly is because I was pulling. You see all this little bit of grass and stuff, the weeds growing in there? I was pulling weeds and tossing them. And as I was tossing one, see the grass right here? But then if you look real close, there's a tiny little trap caught in there. So I'm gonna see if I can detangle this little mess, save that little fly trap. So I'm gonna set up the camera. I'll be back in a second. Well, here we are with this little fly trap. I'm just gonna shake it free, shake it. Oh, look at that. See, there's one there. So I got one trap there. Just kind of keep shaking it. It'll come apart real easy. There's another. Hold on. That's actually 2 of them, maybe 3. So out of that little cluster, here's another little one. And here's another. I'm gonna leave that tiny, tiny one right here attached. And then here's that one with the grass. Let me just see if I can shake that in this water. Yep. I got that little tiny one. I don't know if he'll survive, but we'll try. And then that's trash. So here we go. Out of that little clump, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus this little bitty one. So I'll keep dividing. Come back to you in a minute. Well, here you go. After about 30 minutes of work, I have this whole garden taken apart. Too many of these pitcher plants to count. Easily, there are over 30 or 40 different plants in there. I broke most of them up into about this clump size. And I have smaller clumps here. But this is a lot of these plants, these pitchers. About 20 plus of these pitcher plants, like this. 20 plus of those. And I counted about 24 fly traps. Now, some of them are super tiny, you know, but there are some really good sized ones here. In fact, that might be 2 right there, but I've got about 20, 24 fly traps. Now, back to this spot. That's all the dirt that I shook out. And this is the garden now. It's empty. So what I'm gonna do is clean that garden real well. There was some grass and that kind of stuff in there. But you know, these plants have been growing in this dirt for several years, and they were doing really well. And you know, those plants flower and drop their seeds. And so I bet you there's a whole bunch of carnies ready to pop up out of that ground. So I'm just gonna leave that the way it is. Clean this dirt out, put that back in there. I'm gonna pour that bucket of dirty water in there. And I'll probably replace a few of these just for show. But hopefully, this little flower bed here will be a nursery for more new plants to come up soon. So next is to carry all of this over to the new spot and decide how to lay out the garden. More to come soon.